Welcome to Your Unapologetic Life, the podcast. I'm your host, Morgan Barkis, women's empowerment coach, speaker, and author. And this show is for the woman who's done crying herself to sleep. You're picking yourself up after the breakup or the divorce, and you're ready to figure out what this next chapter is going to look like. Not the one someone else wants for you, the one that's fully yours. Each episode is here to remind you you're not too late, you're not too much, and you're not alone. This is your comeback era, and I've got you. I don't want to get to the end of another year and realize that I waited. Waited to travel, waited to fall in love, waited to live the life that I keep saying that I want. This year, this coming year, I am done waiting. What about you? What's your New Year's resolution? I know it's early. I'm already thinking about New Year's resolutions. And I have found that getting a head start is helpful. I did that in December of 2019. I made a commitment to get my money right, get my money mindset right. So I got started in December. And what's really cool about the universe is once you take that first step, it seems like the next steps fall into place. And I got my start in December and really I got real with debts that I had. I made a plan. I opened myself up to the possibility of abundance. And then things started changing. I had a career change, and different people came into my life that helped me learn more about money and taught me about investing. And then someone that I used to work with when I did change careers, someone that I worked with, she became a financial advisor and invited me to become one of her clients. And it was like, okay. I mean, it was just like doors started opening as I started walking forward. And I wanted that jump start into 2020. This year, I thought, what do I want to change? And I feel like, I'm 45 now. I fell in love with international travel. I always figured I would love it. When I was in high school, international kids would come to the school. Lord only knows why. From France, someone would want to come to small town Wisconsin and other places. And they did. And I thought, well, that's really cool. And it just wasn't in the cards at that time for me to travel abroad. Um, and then I was lucky enough to have a job in my 30s where I got to go abroad to do my work. And so I was able to go to Kuwait and Guatemala and Dubai. And even just going to those few countries, I thought, this is amazing. I want to go everywhere. What am I waiting for? So I decided in 2026, I'm done waiting. I am going to travel internationally at least one time a year, ideally 2 times a year. And it depends on, timing and finances, etc. And that is a important goal of mine. And I thought, I'm done waiting. I'm done saying maybe someday. No, I'm just going to make the commitment and make it happen. And then the universe will deliver as it has in the past with other things I've made a commitment to. That's my belief anyway. So I also, so I was telling my girlfriends that this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. Life is short and this is something I've always wanted to do. I'm going to go do it. And one of my friends that I do my Monday heart checks with lives in Morocco. We went to college together. And I said, girl, February, I will be there. Make a plan. Give me some dates. I'm booking the ticket. You know what's crazy too? The ticket is about the same price as I paid to go to Dallas, Texas once from Chicago. I thought, you got to be kidding me. So, really, there is no reason not to go do the thing. I'm sure there are other places that cost way more money to fly to. And I just truly, when you make the commitment, it just happens and things unfold for you as you make an intention and then take steps forward. So, think about you. What are you going to do in 2026? And how can you set yourself to get a jump start? Like, what can you do now to make that happen for yourself? That was my big one. That I was like, that's what I'm doing. And then something else came to me. And it didn't come to me because I thought about it, planned it, etc. Let me tell you about what happened to me. I finished reading my business coach's book. Gina DeVee wrote a book called The Audacity to Be Queen. And there was a section in the book she talks about love and her husband and how she met her husband. And she worked with Katherine Woodward Thomas. She hired her as a coach and she made a very strong intention to find the love of her life. And it wasn't who she expected. And they've been together for, I believe, over 2 decades now. So she made an intention, hired someone, and she put in the work. And so I was familiar with Katherine Woodward Thomas's work because it was mentioned in Gina's book. And I thought, well, let me look into this book. And I purchased it as an audiobook. And I started listening a little, and then I just kind of forgot about it. Well, then Katherine Woodward Thomas's work came up again because I asked a question um, to my business coach, and it came back around to Katherine Woodward Thomas's book, Calling in the One. And she said, look into her book. And I thought, now this is interesting. This has come up a couple times now. Maybe I need to look at this a little deeper. And this is the kind of work I do with my coaching clients. Like women come in and maybe they don't know what they want and they know they want something. They're waiting for something, or there's this desire in them that they're trying to work out. And that's what we do in our work together. We're going to heal what needs to be healed. We're going to set intentions for what's next and then figure out how to go make that happen. And when I thought about myself, what I want to make happen in 2026 is calling in the one. I have had a wonderful life. Fun. So many great experiences, lots of love affairs, and wonderful men that have come in and out of my life. I've also had some not so wonderful experiences. Either way, I was living the life that I wanted to live. And then sometimes you get to a point where you're like, and it could be different. And I think I want something different. So, one of the ways I'm getting intentional about the kind of love and life I'm calling in is with Katherine Woodward Thomas's work, Calling in the One. Now, if you haven't read her book, go get it. Get it on audiobook. I think I'm going to get the physical copy too because I like to read the physical copy and do highlights and stuff like that, fold pages, really get into it. I like to be read too, and I like to almost use books as workbooks, if you will. Anyway, so go get the book. However you like to, if you want to read a physical copy, get the audiobook. The book is not about finding a man. It's about finding yourself. That Trojan horse thing, right? So in the end, the result could be the love of your life. And you first learn to be the love of your life, to attract that. Because if like attracts like, become that woman. Who is that woman who is in love and living her best life with her best match, right? Now, before you go out and get this book, because I know you will, I wanted to give you some of her core principles so you have an idea of what she covers in the book. The first principle is we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. So there's this internal shift that currently, if you're attracting folks that aren't your ideal match and you're like, what is happening here? Because I'm missing. Like something is amiss in these men that I'm dating and I'm attracting into my life. With the book, you learn that you're going to keep calling in versions of the same lesson in different bodies. So every guy is kind of the same lesson over and over again until you shift something inside yourself. And again, that's something that we work on when I'm working with women who are in my coaching program. We focus on this. It's the internal upgrades that change everything externally. Now, let's talk second principle. What you are willing to give up that is standing in the way of love. What are you willing to give up that is standing in the way of love? Ooh, this question hit me, and instantly I knew the answer. For me, the answer was the belief that men are not safe. Now, again, I've had wonderful men in my life. My dad's awesome. My brother's awesome. My nephew is awesome. He's got a girlfriend, and he is a wonderful partner to her, even at 17 years old. A romantic, kind, thoughtful, gentle, supportive, loving. Did I ever say loving? Anyway, these are the kind of men in my life. And yet, you hear obviously as a woman, you're constantly on guard. You get into an elevator with another guy, you're like, I hope this goes all right. I'm walking into a parking ramp. I hope there's no one creepy in here. Yeah, like we're always on guard in a general sense as a woman. And then also, I've had relationships where I have been very hurt emotionally. Now, again, I'm not blaming the men. I chose those matches. I stayed in those relationships too long sometimes and then learned not to do that anymore because I shifted myself, which goes back to principle 1. Anyway, we're focused on principle 2, which is what are you willing to give up that is standing in your way of love? So you're looking at habits, beliefs, patterns that you're holding on to, right? You're staying busy. You're chasing emotionally unavailable people. You're confusing independence with isolation. For me, it was letting go also of this very strong sense of independence that I have. My mom said even when I was like 4 years old, she'd come in and try to help me get dressed for the day. And I'd be like, no, I can do it myself. I've always been, I got this. And that's great. Except at a certain point, you're telling the universe, I am telling the universe, I don't need anyone, which isn't true. Because yes, I am very capable. And at the same time, we are social creatures. I want to love and be loved. I want someone to support me and care about my feelings, right? And as independent as I am, there are shifts for me that I had to make to realize if I always am independent and act like I never need anyone, I'm not going to open it up, tell the universe, hey, she would love a partner that would come in here, hold her hand, and support her and care about her feelings. All right, so let's talk principle number 3. What are you willing to start doing to prepare for love? Now, Katherine Woodward Thomas gives some examples. For her, here was some physical things in her apartment. She said, I looked around my apartment and I realized I had artwork on the walls, and it was always a woman by herself staring off into the distance like she was contemplative. Well, why is she alone? Now, I don't have that issue. I love love. So I've got a little knickknack right here at my desk that says love. Above my bed is this beautiful print of this couple embracing. I've got little statues of lovers. Like, I love love. So I've got love all over the place. So for me, it wasn't physical stuff. I have a king size bed because someday there's going to be a dude in there and we're going to need that king size bed. Again, Katherine Woodward Thomas, she looked at her bedroom and realized she had a small bed and it was jammed up against the wall on one side. So a second person couldn't even get in the bed if they wanted to. So she kitty cornered her bed. She put a nightstand on each side. Like, she made her environment into a place that there could be a man. So you think about what you got going on, your physical surroundings or some personal things that you could start doing and start to embody someone who has a partner. Become the woman who, right? This is again the kind of work I'm going to do with you. If you become a client, you're not chasing love. You're not out there searching for it or begging for it or hoping. You become love. You become the woman who already acts like the woman who has her perfect partner. And like attracts like, and you never know what's going to happen from there, right? Now, if you knew love was guaranteed, what would you stop doing right now? If the next relationship came with ease and joy, who would you need to become to match that energy? What do you need to give up to make space for what's next? These are the same questions I ask my clients. This is what we would work on together when you become a client. Because the truth is, you don't need another dating app, girl. You need alignment, boundaries, confidence, and the self-worth that attracts love that meets you where you are. If I want to get real metaphorical, I can tie travel into calling in the one. I can book that ticket and I don't even know what's waiting for me on the other side of it. Sure, I might be traveling alone, That doesn't mean I'm going to be alone while I'm traveling. You don't need anyone to join you to start living your best life. Once you start living your best life, that's when people are attracted to you, the people who are meant to be in your life. This is the woman that I coach. The one who's done settling, she's done waiting, she's ready, and she is willing to build a life so full that love becomes the bonus, not the fix. She attracts what she already is. And here's what I do know. The love you're calling in doesn't arrive because you finally become perfect. It arrives because you finally become present. You stop waiting, you live fully, and let love meet you there. Thanks for listening to Your Unapologetic Life. If this podcast felt like a truth bomb, share it with another woman you love. Make sure you're following the show, and please rate and review. It really helps. Want weekly motivation in your inbox? Tap the link in the show notes to join my email list and instantly unlock your post-breakup pump-up video. And if you're thinking, I want Morgan to be my coach, click the discovery call link in the show notes, and let's talk about how perfect my coaching program could be for you right now.